Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunivadi Pasha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we read the fourth chapter. First chapter we had Arjuna's objections. Second chapter we had Krishna answering all the objections. And third chapter we had how work can be made into worship. And we discussed Karma Yoga yesterday. Any questions on the first three chapters? Is everybody clear? Is there something you could not understand? Pravina Manoj, my voice is clear?
Yes, Prabhuji, clear.
Do you want anybody else to be made co-host? No.
Good.
Okay. So anybody has any doubts on the first three chapters? Was it all clear to you, everybody? Okay. Now this chapter is, the 18 chapters is kind of a journey. And we see now after Arjuna heard the 18 chapters, he surrendered to Krishna. Karishe vachanam tava. Krishna will just obey you. Nashta moham smritim labdva. My all illusion is over now and I regain my memory. So similarly, if we patiently, many people, have some ideas but they don't, are not patient enough. But they're not patient enough to go through the ideas of Bhagavad, concepts of Bhagavad Gita. They already have what Gita should say. We don't say what Gita should say. Our idea is what Gita does say. And many people have their own ideas what Gita should say. No, that's not the point. What Gita actually is saying. Let us try to understand. Okay. So this book, this chapter will have 2 to 4 to 6 parts. The first part is understanding the concept of parampara. What is a parampara? How does it relevance for authorized? It has a relevance for authorized knowledge. Then talk about the Lord having what's the difference between us and God. Many of us feel we are God. That's nice. We also feel I am the greatest man on earth. But what is the difference between us and God? And you must have heard the famous shloka, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya, that all will come now in this section. And then Krishna is all the paths finally lead to the Lord. In what way? It's not that any path you take, you will reach God. It's not like that. Path is one. Path is of devotion, path is of sincerity, path is of surrender, like Arjuna did. But different paths lead you to different degree. It's like you're going to from here to someplace. There is one path, but you can go to different degree based on which path you're taking. Karma Yoga only takes you till Swarga. Jnana Yoga will take you to Brahman. Ashtanga Yoga will also take you to Brahman. And only Bhakti will take you to the presence of the Lord face to face. So not that any path you take, these are all people's whimsical ideas. Yatoma, tato path, you imagine any path you have. It's not like that. Okay. Understanding karma on the platform of jnana, little interesting. Attaining jnana through yajna. And being jnana being the goal of this chapter. This chapter is also called chapter on Jnana Yoga. How we can ultimately achieve jnana will be discussed. And finally, what happens to us when we achieve jnana? The most important of the shlokas, they will be in the first two sections, the very detailed shlokas. There will be very nice concepts coming for you already. This, some of the things are a little advanced. So we'll take only some of the things from the later sections, but first two sections, I'll practically take every verse. What is so unique about Bhagavad Gita that it is such a unique book that we are all studying it? Anybody like to say? What is so
Bhagavad
special about
Gita, here it
Ah.
is as it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Hmm.
By the
Oh, that's
Lord.
as it. That's nice. We will study as. But first, in general, why? What is so great about Bhagavad Gita that no other book has that knowledge? What is the knowledge in this book? See what happens. Many of us are attracted to Vedic culture in terms of dress. Like people say, why India we lost our traditional dress. Yesterday, I met one Muslim friend. He said, we wear our dress and it doesn't really look good, but we do wear it. One Sikh friend said, I do wear 7-foot turban. I don't feel ashamed about it. But why you people feel ashamed to wear your traditional dress? As I say, we wear, but for us, that is not the primary thing to reveal. Now, the dress, the symbols, these things can come later. We see ISKCON preached all around the world. We didn't say people first to wear the dress. This all will come later. It all came. In fact, when Acharya Prabhupada was going to America, they said, you should learn how to dress like a Westerner. Prabhupada, I'm not going to learn anything. I'm going to teach there. And actually change the dress of millions of people. You know? They learn to wear this dress. And wear dhoti, put tilaka, if you see like that. Okay, so what most important thing is knowledge. If this and this knowledge cannot be taken away. We lost our wealth because practically for 1,000 years, India was plundered. It was the richest country in the world. We lost our wealth. Now we're slowly trying to regain. It has still 100 years to go. We lost our, the confidence in that way when you're ruled and subjugated for generations after generations. But there is something which could not be lost. That is knowledge. So what's the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita that the world is not studying today and it can take great benefit? And let us revive that knowledge. Now you talk to youngsters today, they are the world citizen, new generation. You cannot lock them into a religion. You cannot lock them. They are traveling around the world and settling down. You cannot say my country is only great. They're not going to listen to all that so-called patriotism. They want interested. Is there some great knowledge in this book, which was produced in this country, which is for the benefit of the whole world, which we are not studying? And if the world comes to understand this knowledge, whole world will become peaceful and happy. What is that special knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, which world is missing today? Yeah, anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So basically, we are an appliance. We are like, if we buy a fridge, it comes with a manual of how to use the fridge. How can we use it so that it does not get destructed very soon? So Bhagavad Gita is the same for humans. It is a manual of how to live life. Why are we on this earth?
What is it? Don't be big. I want to know what is the knowledge in it. You are being overall. It has a manual. Go inside. What are the three confidential things revealed in Gita, which no other book on earth teaches?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. I'm Pratiksha Subramanian. So we come to know our own self. So our ignorance has been eradicated, and we come to know that the one and one supreme personality of Godhead is like our Krishna. So it's like time eventually, and spiritual also we come to know who we are. I'm not the body. I'm just a soul. And Paramatma and Jivatma, and attaining the
and let's go. The first revelation of Bhagavad Gita, which is studied in the second chapter, is that you are not the body. Now, this revelation doesn't exist in even any religion. Forget about any philosophy. We don't find any philosopher in any part of the world, any scientist in any part of the world, any religion in any part of the world, even understanding this A, B, C, D, I'm not the body. True? You all agree to this? This is the first revelation of Gita. This book is so special, actually. It teaches us something with no, you go to schools, college, so many books are there. They don't even teach the first element of knowledge. I told you yesterday also, they're only teaching you some skill, how to bend an iron. And that is not very great. It's not in the Ishopanishad, it is not called Vidya. This all is called Avidya. Vidya Vinaya Sampannam. Vidya gives you character. Vidya gives you happiness. Vidya gives you goal of life. The Bhagavad Gita is the perhaps a special book of Vidya. Take care, forget this Avidya, which is all your libraries, all Avidya. For me, it's a waste. Bhagavad Gita, the book of Vidya, which teaches us first, who am I? Isn't it? Isn't it the most important knowledge? You know, you have you go to our Acharya Prabhupada went to MIT America, not in India, Manipal. It's a top university in the world. They showed him all the departments. And after that, they asked him, what do you say? He said, do you have a department that studies the difference between the dead body and a living body? They got stunned, the thinking. And after that, one professor said, we don't have, you talking about department of the soul? He said, yes. He said, we don't have. Professor said, everything is waste after that. That's totally, Swamiji, every knowledge is important, but relatively important. Knowledge of the soul is the first knowledge we should give to anybody. But actually, the fact is nobody knows in the whole world, isn't it? Nobody knows who is he. They think I am the body, I am the brain, I am the mind. They're all the things. They have no knowledge. So first revelation of Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna doesn't give it dogmatically. You know, you have to take it, otherwise they'll kill you. No, he gives reasons. We saw so many reasons. And I have presentations on it, various reasons Krishna in Bhagavad Gita explains that we are not the body. That's a separate issue. But the first knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is, I am not the body. Okay? Now, what is the second knowledge in Bhagavad Gita? Revelation, which again doesn't exist in any religion, any philosophy, any book on earth. Yes, Mataji, continue. You are on the track.
I think second thing, knowledge about Bhagavad Gita is dharma. What is dharma?
Why?
Because nowadays people confuse about dharma.
No, but the meaning of dharma, we have to understand. What is the meaning of word? Dharma doesn't mean Hindu dharma. In dharma doesn't mean that. What is dharma?
Dharma means you follow your follow your duties. But you are
That is not your. That dog also feeds his children. That is not your dharma. What is dharma? Dharma is of the soul, not of the body. Just for feeding the children is not dharma. What is actual dharma? That animal also does. No. Dog also feeds his children. Or that you don't have to read Gita.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pranam Prabhu. Dharma means to serve Krishna.
That is okay. Yes, dharma means, see, that's the topic we can have later. That is not the confidential thing. Take it? Okay, that will come in the third part, the second part. What is the second knowledge of Gita?
Prabhuji, soul can neither be destroyed, it can be transferred from one body to
That is in
another
the
body.
first part. That is the first part. That is the first part. We are not the body, we are soul and the nature of the soul. Correct? We discussed in the second chapter. What is the second knowledge of Gita, which is very, very confidential? Means by 1 million years of research of the scientists, it will not be discovered. So confidential. Like say 300 years, science are breaking their head on the wall. They're not able to understand we are separate from the body. They're not able to understand. So Gita reveals the truth through with logic and reason. If you study Bhagavad Gita, you say million years of research. Krishna is giving you straight. We are not the body. What the second thing Bhagavad Gita gives you, which no book of knowledge in the earth tells?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It's about what is Paramatma? What is the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Very good. Paramatma. Second knowledge is Paramatma. Okay, what is the third knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which is very, very confidential?
It's Prabhuji, it's like how to establish the
Brahman, sir.
relationship
Yeah.
with the Paramatma.
Sir, the third knowledge is Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. The third knowledge is about the ultimate bliss, and that is Brahman.
No. Where Brahman? That is in the first knowledge. We are not body, we are spirit, soul. Why you want to avoid God? Huh? You are atheist or what?
No, sir.
God.
The third knowledge is that the ultimate is God. The first is the soul, second is Paramatma, and third is the ultimate, the supreme personality of Godhead.
Okay, the Bhagavan. Okay? I thought you were my
I'm saying about Brahman means the ultimate bliss.
bliss in service to God. Okay? Bliss
Bliss,
not in,
maybe,
okay, not
when we
bliss.
reach to him, we get the ultimate bliss, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Your wording was such, I was thinking of Mayavadi speaking. Okay.
No, sir. First is my soul, second is Paramatma, which is residing in me, and third is the ultimate, which is the ultimate, which gives us the ultimate bliss, sir.
So Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Okay.
Bhagavan. Hanji.
Now we discuss in second chapter also. We can say logically we are not the body because I am conscious and matter is not conscious. Correct? Matter is not aware of it. Like I am aware. Logically we can understand, and Gita gives very lot of supportive argument. The body is changing, but I remain the same person. So we can understand. How do you logically understand that Paramatma is there? See, we are telling this thing, but suppose you tell your children, there's a Papa, this is not logical, correct? So how do you say logically that we're not Paramatma is there in our heart? Can anybody tell me how logically you can conclude the Paramatma is there in the heart? The reason is, I'll tell fast
At
because
times,
the chapter.
the intuition.
Yes. Inspiration. Yes, wonderful. Inspiration, intuition, guidance. See, now suppose you're sitting in the room, okay, and you get this thing, don't do this. Now, how can that inspiration come? You're walking on the road, suddenly a sound comes, turn right. But the sound cannot come if somebody has shouted. It cannot come from rocks falling over each other, turn right. It cannot come. You understand? So because of the constant guidance which is coming within the heart, somebody is there with us, even though we are not able to see him. True? That is the proof of presence of Paramatma. What is the third? How do you prove that that Bhagavan is sitting in Vaikuntha? How do you prove it logically to a layman?
All the functions are done by the demigods is being controlled by the Supreme Lord. So
that's okay.
Whether it's a rain.
He will say neither demigods are visible to me, neither a god is visible to me. Give me logic. I'm just asking a logic for a mundane man. Okay, I'll tell it right away. See,
the air cannot be seen; it can only be felt, Prabhuji. So
and that's okay. You're very, very advanced. See, I'll tell you one more argument. I'm happy with your argument. See, we are looking for constant happiness, but in this world, constant happiness does not exist. It's like in this world, it's like eating khichdi and I put salt in it. No, I put some mud in it. This world, the enjoyment is interrupted by various inconveniences, correct? And neither it is satisfying. But I'm still looking for it. That means I had it. Now, suppose I show you a picture of apple. The moment I show you a picture of apple, you start salivating. That means you've eaten apples before. Even though today I'm not giving you apple, correct? You're looking at apple, like small children, so cute they are. You show them a picture of some, you should give them a gulab jamun in the front, and the saliva start falling. They're so natural. Okay? So you're looking at the picture of apple, that means you have eaten apple before. Agree? You must have eaten apple before, otherwise, just by picture, why you're salivating? So we are searching in this world for constant, unending, satisfying happiness, which actually doesn't exist in this world. So there is a place where it exists. That's called Vaikuntha. And where the Lord resides, Bhagavan resides. Okay? Logic. Just pure logic. We know we are not the body, we are spirit, soul, the first knowledge of Gita, because we are conscious. Matter is not conscious. We know Paramatma resides in us because there is constant inspiration, encouragement within my heart. The Lord is doing that. He has not left me. And third, we know the Lord is waiting for me, Vaikuntha, because I'm looking for unlimited bliss which doesn't exist here. And Krishna again and again in Bhagavad Gita says, my dear child, come back home. Just like a mother, suppose the child has run away from home, and if she sometimes talks to him, she have only one word at the end of every conversation. My dear child, can you come back home? Anna? So that's a Bhagavad Gita, the love letter by Krishna. My dear child, come back home. Okay, so very unique. I hope something you understood. Among hundreds of versions of Gita available market, which is the appropriate Gita according to which you will select? Now you go to a bookshop, it has 100, not 100, 1,000, a big bookshop possible. There are 1,000 editions and people are writing again and again. Everybody is having his own opinion. Which one you will select? What criteria you will use to select which Gita to study?
The author, like Srila Prabhupada, the book which is the authenticated.
For you, Common man says, now how do I accept him? There is one more bigger name in there. So some Ananda, some Paramhamsa, the big names are there. What small name?
Bhagavad Gita as it is, Prabhuji.
No, on what basis? On what basis? He will say, give me a reason, give me a logic.
Prabhuji, that parampara chain we have to verify.
Yeah. Now see.
Okay.
Yes. Authorization. How do you want to pick up an authorized edition? How do you know which is authorized?
Bhagavad Gita is
Parampara.
written by a pure devotee.
Yeah, definitely. See, what happened to Arjuna when he heard Bhagavad Gita? He surrendered to Krishna. You know that? Before Gita, Arjuna had his own plan, Krishna had another plan. After hearing Gita, what happened? Arjuna surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna. Correct? So, the person who's writing Bhagavad Gita should have applied Gita in himself and surrendered to Krishna and applying the instruction of Gita in his life. Correct? So, not from somebody who doesn't believe in Gita. Somebody who actually believes, and like Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, he should have surrendered to the Lord in devotion. So he should be a devotee who obeys every word of Krishna. True? One part. Then any other part?
From
Somebody should authorize.
Disciplic succession, you should.
Yes. See, yeah, disciplic succession. See, just like you want to locate a doctor, what do? You just go to the medical, to any doctor? No. You go and you see two things. Number one, you go by reference. Somebody says a very good doctor. Okay? Let us be practical. Why we go to a doctor? You call a friend. Yeah, I'm having headache. Do you know a good general physician in the city? Hey, go that one. It's really nice. So one thing is always a recommendation by somebody. And number two is a qualification. When you're sitting there, you see that, nice board is there. It is written MD from All India Institute of Medical Science, Delhi. He says all the written thing, boy, he's authorized person. Now, what is All India Institute? It's a parampara, One doctor trains the next doctor, that trains the next doctor. Authorization just goes on, isn't it? AIMS is not some machine. There are people there. There are also previous doctors. They train and authorize the next person to be doctor. He trains and authorizes the next person to be doctor. So there should be some chain of authorization, training and authorization there. Number one. And number two, the person should be accepted by authority. Now, common man can make a mistake in judging who is a good doctor. Some respectable person with some knowledge will make a better judgment. So Bhagavad Gita also, to select an authorized edition, number one, there should be chain of training and authorized. That's called parampara. And number two, it should be, and finally, it should be effective. A good doctor should be effective. You say, doctor, give me treatment. And he studies and he tells you what is actually causing your headache. Goes to the root of the disease and gives you some medicine and you're relieved. Wow, I got a good doctor. Similarly, like Arjuna, we are also lost in this world. We are not able to control our mind. We are not able to control our senses. We are not happy at the end of the day in this world. And by following Bhagavad Gita, this all should happen. Okay? So this is the Bhagavad Gita history. Krishna is telling the 4.1. Shri Bhagavan Vacha imam vivaspate yogam proktaman ahmavayam vivasvan manave praha manu ikshva kavi abrabir. Those who want to hear this chanting, we can come a little earlier. There's a wonderful devotee. They chant very sweetly. I can't do like that. Okay? You can enjoy hearing for every chapter the shlokas with the meaning they do before all the shlokas. In the class, I am more interested in understanding Gita, getting the concepts through. Okay? And so many new people get scared of the shloka. So you may be very scholar, so you like to hear all the shlokas. You come before or join with us. This will be over within now 10 more days. The advanced versions of the course we have, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. You will be trained into chanting shlokas also very nicely and become a good teacher also. I instructed the impaired science of yoga. So Vivasvan is a Krishna taught that I taught the sun god. And then sun god taught Manu, and he taught Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was a king on earth. Okay? Manu is in every Brahma's day. We will explain to you today. It is Manu Manvantara. He rules for a certain time. Vivasvan is a sun god. Can anybody tell me how can somebody live on sun? It is so hot. Is it some mythology, some fantasy, or it has some basis?
Sir, it has been labeled as a lok, and lok means the people stay there. The life is there.
But you will burn, no? If you go to sun planet. Even they are sending probes. If they are sending probes, if they are not able to go near because it burns.
That is by our imagination that one cannot survive at this temperature. But a time will come, then we will be able to know that even at that temperature, some of the things are there. That's why it has been labeled as a lok.
Prabhuji, we can only perceive things from our limited perspective of limited senses. That's the reason.
Okay.
It's
Very nice.
actually the effulgence of the Bhagavan, Prabhuji. So it doesn't harm whoever resides there.
Yeah, okay. Various analysis. See, when I'm sitting,
because of the Atma it cannot be burned.
Soul
So
cannot.
the spirit body is there.
See, the concept of life, according to modern day science, is in terms of body, because they don't accept soul as a life. For them, life is this body. But this body can be different. Vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam. You see in the water, some people live in the water. You can't imagine, had you not gone inside water, you can't even imagine that some people live in water. But it is possible. They have bodies suitable for that atmosphere. So we have people living in water. We have people living on earth. We have people living in the air. So birds are, practically flying all day in the air. Okay. So why not? Sun is another element. Soul can live there also, but a body suitable for that atmosphere. Okay, which we may not be able to see today. One day we will see, but presently our probes are not able to go near. They're from a distance. We only see fire. We cannot. But actually, it's not like that. There is sun god there, and he's a great personality, very great personality. Devatas are generally very sattvic and very great personality, and very handsome. You see them, you'll be stunned by their beauty. So, Ivam Vivasvate Yogam, and the Manu who is ruling on behalf of Brahma. Brahma's day is divided into 14 Manus. Is our Manu. This is Vivasvan Manave. This is Vaivasvata Manu. This is our Manu presently. And Manu talked to Ikshvaku. Now, interesting thing is that sun god heard this message before the birth of the Manu. Our Manu, who presently has spent a good time of his life. His life is something like 300 million years. And he has spent 120 million years of his life. That means sun god heard the message 120 million years ago. We will just go to that calculation, if I will remember the numbers correct. So message came like this. So we are also now identify the time it happened. Evam parampara praptam. The same way Krishna is saying, see, a medicine bottle has everything how to use it. A good medicine bottle. Bhagavad Gita doesn't need anything else outside. See, first chapter was so beautiful. It sets the scene of Gita. Even if you're not read Mahabharata, you can get a perspective to continue studying the whole Gita. Because first thing sets the scene. What's happening? Who is asking questions? Then there's, I think, another only religious scripture where there are question and answers. Not some commandment, not some revelation. There is question and answer. Continuously, Arjuna is asking questions to Krishna. Krishna, I can't understand this. Krishna, why did you say this? And Lord is explaining. Okay? So this knowledge comes. So this book also says how to receive it, parampara. So when you go to a bookshop, the first criteria should be which Guru Parampara this book comes from. It doesn't have Guru Parampara, just keep it aside. If somebody was there, went to some Himalayas and got a revelation, please don't waste your time. He's an unauthorized person, and we don't know whether he is himself following what is taught. Nobody has authorized him. Okay? Parampara. Parampara is a system of training and authorization. Even saintly kings used to understand this Gita in that way. But Krishna is saying, unfortunately, Sakale neha mahata yoga nashtaha parantap. Arjuna, but today I see the message is lost. I taught to the sun god long time ago, but today I see the message. But in the course of time, succession of broken, the science as it is appears to, it's a science. Bhagavad Gita is a book of spiritual science. It is not a book of faith at all. Everything is logical. Okay, so we discussed about this. Bona fide guru means he comes in a parampara and he should be effective. Now, some more revelations from the scripture. Sampradaya vihina ye mantra te nishphala mata. If you take a mantra which is not from Sampradaya, it is waste. Kalo bhavishyanti chatvara sampradayena chatvara. This is stupid. And now it is correct. Kalo bhavishyanti chatvara sampradayena. So in Kali Yuga, there will be 4 sampradayas. The one is Shri. Other one is Brahma. Shri means from Lakshmi. Other one is from Brahma. One is from Lord Shiva. One is from 4 Kumara, Sanakaha. All 4 are Vaishnava Sampradaya, where the teaching is how to worship Vishnu. 4 Sampradaya. And Chatvara te Kalo Bhavya Hyukta. And what are the 4 personalities then? Who will be the 4? That is also given. Brahma Sampradaya will be Madhvacharya. Shri Sampradaya will be Ramanujacharya. Rudra Sampradaya will be Vishnu Swami. And Kumara will be Nimbarkacharya. The 4 acharyas of the 4 Sampradaya.
Morning. क्या काम है boss?
Please keep yourself muted. This is our Sampradaya. We can see this is Brahma. Sorry, this is Krishna, then Brahma, Narada, Vedavyasa. In this Sampradaya, great person. These are only prominent personalities. 32 prominent. Sampradaya in 5,000 years will have many, many more. Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vedavyasa. Here is Madhvacharya. Here is Padmanabha Tirtha, Narar Tirtha, Madhav Tirtha, Akshodaya Tirtha, Jaya Tirtha. Well, all great acharyas. The next prominent people which are well known is Madhavendra Puri in our Sampradaya, Ishwar Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vidyabhushan. And then it is where we reach Baladev Vidyabhushan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaurkishore Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Saraswati, and a founder of ISKCON, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So it is a system of training and authorization. Okay. I have a small video on this.
Prabhuji, sound is not clear.
Not coming clearly. Let me see where it is going. It is going to the USB audio device. Okay, chalo, we go ahead from this. Basically, the parampara. Okay, my voice is clear now. Okay, so okay. So now Krishna continues. Sa evaya maya te dya yoga prokta puratana bhaktu asime sakacheti rahasyam yeduttama. Krishna, this secret knowledge now of Bhagavad Gita I am teaching to you because you are my devotee and you are my friend. So if you are very devotionally, in a very positive way inclined for service to the Lord, then only Gita you can understand. You cannot understand Gita. It's a spiritual message. It's not a mechanical, material message which you can capture. Like exam hota tha na, tomorrow exam, full night you have to study and understand it and get marks. It's not a knowledge. Knowledge is revealed within the heart. To whom? Who is sincere and devotion. Now, can you see the soul? No, there is no way to see the soul except a revelation from the Lord. Can you see the Paramatma? No, you cannot see. You can logically understand, but that's not a big deal. To see it is more important now. Can you see the Lord? It's a revelation. So these things, to whom Krishna reveals, who is positively inclined in devotion service. Now, so why doesn't it reveal to me? I may not be inclined in service. What's the use? Like Putana, you'll like Putana come to attack him. Agasura, Bhagasura. What is the use? Simply disturbing. They say sometimes let us stay peacefully, distance. So you do your job, I do my job. But if you're inclined to serve the Lord, then the Lord reveals. Okay. Like Arjuna, Krishna is saying the condition Because you will get envious and disturbed now. You see, Krishna is walking with his 16,000 wives. You die of envy. Krishna is okay, better you live peacefully. I'll hide myself from you. Even though the Lord maintains us, Pravina Manoj, people forget to unmute themselves, mute themselves, we can do that. So even people forget why it is like that. Okay. So what we will do if Krishna appears, we will disturb him. Okay. If we are not properly inclined. So Krishna keeps himself hidden, but only reveals himself when we are. He is more eager than you to talk to you. But we have some, other ideas. In the list of items I want in life, he's at the bottom. We have so many better things to do than me too. So Krishna said, okay, fine. That's fine. Okay, would you go to somebody who would not want to meet you? Tell me. Would you go to somebody? Some friend doesn't want to see your face. You land up in his house. You'll not go. Would you go? It disturbs him. He get irritated. He starts shouting. It's better I don't disturb. Correct? So Krishna, he is the Supreme Lord. He cannot be, he is the Lord. But you can't stand somebody being supreme controller, supremely rich, supremely knowledge. You can't stand because you think you are the greatest person. So Krishna says, okay, you remain the greatest person. I hide myself. That is what is happening today. But then Arjuna asked Krishna this question to Krishna. Krishna say, you are telling you taught this message to the sun god and you are saying you're going to teach this message to me because I'm a great devotee. That's all very fine. But I have some question for you. He's asking on our behalf. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvata. This Vivasvan is senior by birth to you. How I'm going to believe today that you taught? How can I understand this? You taught this message to sun god. See, there is a questioning, open question, Krishna. You see that he's trying to clarify for us, how was it millions of years ago that taught this message to sun god? You are my contemporary. Arjuna and Krishna were of the same age, almost the same age. You know, when Yudhishthira and Bhima were elder to Krishna, and Nakula Sayadav were younger. So when Krishna used to come to meet the Pandavas, the two elders, he used to touch their feet. That's our culture. And Nakul Sayadav, they will touch his feet. They were younger than him. But Arjuna used to embrace. They were of the same age. Okay? So Krishna, you are my contemporary. How do I believe that millions of years ago you taught the message to sun god? He's asking question. How can I understand? So Krishna now has to explain the difference between him and us. How many years before the Gita was spoken by the Lord? There is a calculation. Anybody knows? Krishna spoke the message to sun god how many years ago? I told. Okay. To understand this, you have to understand something known as Vedic time. This is Kali Yuga, where we are today, 4,32,000 years. Dwapar Yuga is double of that. Treta Yuga is triple of that. Satya Yuga is 4 times. You may ask me, it's all fine. Dwapar is double by very name. Treta is triple, and Satya Yuga is 4 times. Chatur Yuga. But how do you arrive at the figure? You can 4,32,000 years. How do you calculate this? 4.32 million years. You know what is the one day of the Devatas compared to our day? You know, Uttarayana, Dakshinayana. Anybody heard that word? You heard that word, no? Uttarayana, Dakshinayana. Correct? Devatas one day is our 360 days. Okay? You understand? That's why we say, don't wake them up. We don't do big ceremonies in Dakshinayana because they are sleeping now. Correct? We generally try to do most of the temple ceremonies in Uttarayana. Okay. You understand this, everybody? You are born in India, mota, you know, Uttarayana, Dakshinayana. So Devatas one day is equal to your 360 days. Devatas live 12,000 of their life is not 100 years, there's 12,000 years. Now 12,000 into 360 is actually their life from our calculation. That is 4.32 million. Calculate 12,000 multiplied by 360. That is 4.32 million. Devatas see one set of Satyuga, Tretayuga, Dwaparayuga, Kalyuga. They generally, I'm saying general Devata, not the top Devata like Indra or Manu, much more like. Now that is with total one set of yugas is 4.32 million years. Now, Manu has 71 such cycles in his life. So our Manu's life is roughly 300 billion years, and he has lived 120 million years. In a day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. So 14 into 71 is 1,000. Okay? There's 1,000 actually the calculation. So this is the day of Brahma that becomes 4.32 million into 1,000. 4.32 billion years is at 12 hours of Brahma. Brahma night is another 4.32 billion years. So his 24 hours is 8.64 billion years. Multiply into 30, that is 1 month of Brahma, into 12, one year of Brahma, into 100, life of Brahma, is 311.04 trillion years. You know, when many Western cosmologists, they studied their books, I don't want to name the religion, it says the world was created 6,000 years ago. Some prominent books of religion say that. They're a bit frustrated because it doesn't suit any of the studies done. They came to India thinking that because according to scientists, the life of Earth is 4.5 billion years. That's every day they change. Nothing is absolute what scientists say. 4.5 billion years. So they want to look what does Vedas say. They were stuck because they were thinking it will also say 1,000 years. They were stuck. It doesn't say 1,000. It talks about trillion. Then how do we understand? Because in Vedas, the creation and destruction is cyclic. There is constant pralaya. There is creation, there is destruction. There is creation, there is destruction. And then now I can give you this chart, understand this chart, and then you can explain to them. But they find the universe not more than 17.5 billion years. But there are more places they will find one day, which are even older than that because of Brahma's place. He has lived 50 years of his life. So Brahma has lived 155 trillion years. So there is a place in the universe which is 155 trillion years old. They will get one day, perhaps, but we get information here. Life of Brahma, I have done all these calculations for you in the notes PDF that you get. You can have a look at it and understand. Just this course started 3 years ago. So 3, 4, just you have to add 3, 4 years to this final. It hardly makes any difference. I left it. We don't revise. 155.2. Life of Manu. So I've just calculated the life of Manu. You can go through that also. Okay. 120 million years. So Gita was spoken by the Lord 120 million years ago. To sun god. In fact, I did some interesting calculation. One day of Brahma is these many years, and then I finally found 1 second of Brahma is 1 lakh years. Very surprising. 1 second. When did Gita come on earth? There is an instance in the Mahabharata that it came in the beginning of Treta Yuga. So if you take the duration of Treta Yuga and then Dwapara Yuga, we are at the beginning of Kali Yuga. Comes something like Ikai, Dhai, Saikra, Hajar, 10,000, Lakh, 10 lakh. 2 million years ago, message came on earth. 2 million years ago, according to science, 150,000 years ago, human beings appeared. Isn't it? Isn't it? So how do we understand that 2 million years ago, somebody understood Gita on earth, and there was a king called Ikshvaku, who was not Neanderthal man or, anybody can explain to me? How do you say that Lord Rama came in Treta Yuga, 2 million years? He was not a monkey. He was a very, very handsome personality. Can anybody tell how do we understand this? A contradiction between Vedic history and modern history. See, I'm asking all possible questions so that at the end of the class, you don't have questions. You don't take it blindly. Now, is it wrong? Isn't it wrong? 2 million years ago, message was given on earth. Nobody wants to reply. Lord Rama is said in Treta Yuga, not some people have said came 5,000, 10,000 years ago. He came in Treta Yuga. In Ayodhya Dham, Lord Rama appeared 2 million years ago, roughly. So how do you say that? Anybody? Why you are celebrating huge temple you're making in Ayodhya? And if I tell you, the Shastra says very clearly, came with Treta Yuga, there's something like 2 million years ago. So how do you believe it?
Prabhuji, they just want to impose their things on us.
No, that's
for
okay.
An example,
How do you reason here?
for
See,
an example, in a Hanuman Chalisa, there is mention of how much sun is far from Earth. There is mentioned accurate distance.
Perfect. You find many things accurate that I appreciate and respect. But I'm saying this point, how will you convince somebody? Because modern day science, they have not found evidence of any human bone more than 150,000 years ago. So how will you accept? How, see, I reason it. We have to talk reason and logic. People are ready to accept. See, we should not take people happy. People are simple, innocent. They're ready to, but they want an argument. See, when Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling, he was the emperor of the whole earth. Therefore, it's called Mahabharata. Just like Great Britain, Great India, isn't it? All the kings of the whole world fought in that war between Yudhishthira Maharaj and Duryodhana, and he became the emperor. Emperor means just like British Empire. All the kings in the world were under him. Okay, he was the emperor. Now, Vedic culture was also part of the whole world. In Vedic culture, the body is burnt. So where you will get the bones? Million answer. Where you will get the bones? It is burned. That means 5,000 years before, the whole world was following the Vedic culture. Just like we lost Pakistan with these people, we lost so many countries. India was the ruler of the earth, and everywhere Vedic culture was followed, and everywhere bodies are burned. So where you'll get the bones? They have got actually, sometimes, not every time it will be burned, correct? Sometimes accident, person dies somewhere. They have found evidence. It's not, there is a book written by one, he's an ISKCON devotee. Previously, he was a big archaeologist. He's an American. He written a book called Forbidden Archaeology. You can read the book. What is the name? Michael A. Cremo is a previous name. Now he's a devotee. He has written a book called Forbidden Archaeology. He has showed a lot of evidence the archaeologists got of bones, human bones, millions of years old. But they kept it aside because they're not able to reconcile with their theory which they have created. But actually, there is an evidence, okay, of a very ancient human bones that are layers which are millions of years old. There is an evidence. So, okay, so this way we can understand. Okay, these are some calculations. A message came on us 2 million years ago. Now Krishna is saying, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tani ham veda sarvani nattam veda para. Many births both you and I have passed. Now Krishna is telling the difference between you and me. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. Oh, subdue your enemy. Oh, you may be able to kill some enemies, Arjuna. The difference between you and me, you're not able to remember. I remember. Because Lord is God. There's a difference between God and a small jiva, like sun and a photon. The nature of the photon, nature of sun is same, heat and light, just for an example. But photon is very small. So we are very small jiva, we do forget. We keep changing bodies and God doesn't change bodies. He has spiritual form. His form is not matter. Otherwise, how does he come as Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma holding in front of his mother first when he was born? Then how does he change the form to a small child? Then how does he show Vishwarupa to the mother twice in his mouth? How do you show Vishwarupa to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana? How does he show Vishwarupa to Arjuna in the battlefield? How does he lift a mountain with if it is material body, the finger will break actually, logically, physics. But he lifted a mountain for 7 days without even hand, neither hand was shaking, neither he was, the weightlifter lift 200 kilos and they are shaking like this. No, he was peacefully smiling and one mountain he lifted. His body is not material, his body is spiritual. So being a spiritual body, eternally God maintains that spiritual body. He doesn't forget anything. We keep changing bodies, we forget. That's how Krishna appeared. You see how beautiful. How does Krishna appear? Aju apisan avyatma bhutanam ishwaro apisan prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atma. Krishna said, I come by my own energy. Now we are born, we have no choice. We are thrown into some situation, but God is not thrown. He chooses his father, mother. in this instance chose Vasudeva and Devaki, and he appeared. Okay? Although I am unborn, Ajo means unborn, and my transcendental body never deteriorates, Avayatma, Bhutanam Ishvaro Apisan, I am the Lord of all the sentient being. Prakritim Swamadishta Samami Atmaya, I come by my own energy, not that I am forced in any situation. And this is a very, very famous shloka. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavat. Whenever there is discrepancy in relation. See, it doesn't say Hindu dharma, it says dharma. So dharma word means the property of something which cannot be separated from something. Okay? What you cannot separate out. That's called dharma. The dharma of the soul is service to the Lord. Correct? You cannot, like from sugar, you cannot take out sweetness. What's my original property which cannot be taken away from the soul? It is hankering to serve the Lord. It is a servant of God. And it finds immense happiness and service to God. That's the nature of the soul. Give it that, the soul will become fully satisfied. That is why you can remember whenever we go to a big temple, something, a spiritual atmosphere, you feel so happy because soul has come at the feet of the Lord. It feels so happy. Yada yada hi dharmasya. When this principle of the world is created with the purpose of bringing us back to the lotus feet of the Lord. It's a rehabilitation center, it's a hospital, it's a jail, whatever way you can say. Okay? When people who are climbing in their surrender to the Lord are disturbed, the Lord comes in. That's called dharma. Dharma doesn't mean some concocted, faith. Yada, whenever the system of purification and surrender to the Lord is disturbed, bhavati bharata abhyutanam, I descend. Sujami aham. Wherever there is decline in the religious practice, descend of Bharata and a predominant rise of irreligion, at the time it descend massive. But I'm defining religion as irreligion. Okay, what are the different incarnations of the 10 incarnations which are very prominent and known? Anybody knows? Dashavatara? Nobody knows.
Hare
Huh?
Krishna.
Vara, Rupa, Narsimha, Tara.
Yes.
Fish, tortoise.
Yes.
Then boar,
Yes.
Narsiga, Vaman,
Yes.
Vaman Parshuram,
Yes.
Ramchandraji,
Matsya, Tara.
Lord Krishna, Mahatma Buddha, and Kali.
Yes. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Why doesn't God come today? There is more adharma today than any other time. He says,
Justification of the verse 7, that when the righteousness is declining, he has to appear, and now in this he will appear as Kali.
Why he has not come? Why he has not come? He will come. Kalki will come at the end.
The things are still okay because we have the influence of Dwapar Yug till now.
Okay, very nice, very nice.
And still we are having the influence of Dwapar Yug. And as we are having the influence of Dwapar Yuga, the Krishna consciousness is still pervading. We are still chanting. We are doing both the things. We are doing.
Chalo. Thank you. There is something else adding information to what you are telling. Appears of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangastapashadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayajanti Sumedasa. So when King Nimi asked in 11th canto, 11.532, there's a verse to Navayogendras. How do I recognize in Kali Yuga the Lord? He says, Krishna Varnam, he's constantly chanting the name of Krishna. Tusha Akrishnam, but color is not like Krishna. Sango Pangasta, he comes with various associates. Yagnai, start the Nama Yagnai Sankirtana, with Yagna, Sankirtana Yagna. Praya, he starts at Jajanti Sumedasa, all intelligent people accept him in that way. So the beautiful shloka from Bhagavatam itself. There are supported shlokas with the name. Kalo Sankirtana Arambe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutaha. Kalyuga will come as the son of Mother Sachi. Mayapure Navadipe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutaha. In place called Mayapur Navadip, the Lord will appear. Okay? There are many, the place of birth, the father's name, mother's name is going to Jagannath Puri, taking sannyas, spreading Nama Sankirtana is there in different scriptures, Narsimha Purana, Vayu Purana. If you put together, we have the quotations anytime we can show you. Okay? So now the next shloka is, why does Krishna appear? Paritranaya sadhunam, you know this shloka, Vinashaya dushkritam, Dharma sansthapanartha samvami yuge yuge. Okay? It comes out as disturbing devotees, so Krishna comes to punish him and also to give protection to the devotees. Actually, he wants to protect his devotee, that is his main purpose. Vinasha automatically happens. Okay. So, sadhu, we all think we are sadhu, but the sadhu is a big definition. Titikshava karunika surita sarva bhutanam. Third canto, Ajata Shatrava Shanta Sadhava Sadhu Bhushanam. Sadhu means there are various qualities. It's very tolerant, very merciful, well-wisher for everybody. No enemy, he doesn't have anyone, and very peaceful. These are the ornaments of a sadhu. Titikshava Karunika Surida Sarva Bhutanam Ajata Shatrava Shanta Sadhava Sadhu Abhushanam. Okay, so don't imagine we are sadhu, we are all dushkrita only. What is the benefit of understanding all this? So Krishna says very nicely, what is the benefit of knowing about Krishna? Janma karma cha me divyam. He said, all my birth and activities are not material, it is spiritual. Mother Yashoda playing with child is not like we playing with our children. This is divya, this is divya lila of the Lord. And this is not impelled by Mahamaya, this is impelled by Yogamaya. Tame divyam. Evam yoveti tattva. If somebody understands this in truth, Takta deham purarjanma. When he leaves the body, he will not take birth again in this world. That's the benefit. Okay, so beautiful. Okay, so there is a lot of difference between us and God. Krishna's form is spiritual, but our form is, the gross soul. We have soul, but covered by subtle body and then gross body. Krishna's body is not covered by anything. It's totally spiritual. We are controlled by Maya and we are controlled by Maya. Please be careful. No, don't unmute yourself. We are controlled by Maya, but Krishna is a controller of Maya. You see that the Maya is playing with us, but Krishna is not under the control of Maya. He is a controller. Maya is his creation. Just like a sun produces cloud. Cloud disturbs us, not the sun. Vita raga bhaya krodha manamaya mam upashita bhavo jnana tapasa puta madbhava magata. Krishna saying, become free from three things. Raga means attachment. This I told you, we should have affection, not attachment. Bhaya, fear is a sign of ignorance. Krodha, another foolishness. Become free from three things. Attachment, fear and anger. Manamaya mam upashita, take my shelter. Many people, bahavo, many people have taken my shelter. By cultivating jnana and tapasya, jnana tapasya, by knowledge and austerities, being purified, puta like this, have attained spiritual nature. Vidaraga bhaya krodha, manamaya mam upashitaha, bahavo. How do you achieve? Become freedom from attachment, fear and anger? Cultivate knowledge and do some tapasya, some sadhana. Then you will achieve this and then attain the spiritual abode of the Lord. Krishna reciprocates to the degree of your surrender. Ye yatama prapadyante tam tatam bhaja. To the degree you surrender, to that degree Krishna will reciprocate. Okay. And the cow approaches Krishna's lotus feet. See how beautiful is Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna said, okay, come. You serve Krishna. Even Krishna likes to serve back his devotees. Like he driving Arjuna's chariot. Chatur varna maya shishtam gunakarma vibhagasha tasya kartanam api avidya kartanam abhyam. The brief mention of Varnashma. Varnashma means, the Brahmana means person who wants knowledge. Brahmana has nothing to do with birth. Kshatriya means a person who wants power. Vaishya is a person who wants money. Shudra is he has no capability of any sort. Therefore, he can take employment other than. Just like most of the youngsters today, they go for a job. They don't have capacity to entrepreneurship to open a company. They don't have it. Neither they can risk-taking capacity, neither they have any knowledge. Okay, so if you can do three things, these are three things are best. You have design knowledge. Oh, wonderful. The Brahmin, he not even bothering out wearing upper cloth also. Or some lungi I wear. He is discussing. He wants knowledge. End of the day, if I got knowledge, my day is great. That's called a Brahmana. Kshatriya, if he can control 10 more people, the Kshatriya. Great. Even he is listening to me now. Vaishya, he keeps looking at the password. Nice. Shudra, just sleeps. And he gets hungry. He goes, can some work is there? He gets some work, fill his belly and sleep again. Okay, so Kali Yuga, interesting thing, Shudra Sambhava. All of us are Shudra. Kalo Shudra Sambhavaha. Okay? But the principle of this Chaturvarna was nothing to do with birth. Did Krishna create the caste system? Why did Krishna create the caste system? Okay.
To realize the responsibilities of every individual.
Yeah, just like today you have doctor and engineer. So you see, everybody based on his ability should be given responsibility. Then Krishna talks about him. He said, there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands the truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruits. Krishna is not affected by any work. You see, he was worshipping Sudama, like a Kshatriya attacking Bhishma, taking care of the cows also, and driving chariot or somebody, but Krishna still maintains his Supreme Lord's position. He doesn't become affected by all that. Okay? Karmana api bodhavyam vikarmana, akarmana su bodhavyam kahana karmano gati. So we should understand what is karma, what is vikarma. Karma is good activities, just like charitable ranti deva. Vikarma is sinful activities. And there is akarma. Akarma has two meanings, the word actually. One akarma is not to do work. Anna? Akaramani Mahabhav, Karmane da Shloka. Other thing, akarma is spiritual activity. Now you are hearing Bhagavad Gita. Neither is Papa Punya, it is spiritual. And by doing akarma, you go to Krishna's lotus feet. You go to spiritual world. Okay. Akarma. The Narad Muni chanting Hare Krishna, that's akarma. Take a karma, vikarma, akarma. Understood. Okay. So gradually, as you practice chanting, your faith is there. That in association of devotees, it grows. Then you take shelter of the Acharya. Then all your unwanted things get over. Anartha nivritti, as you practice spiritual life, your faith increases. You develop taste in the spiritual practice. You feel attachment to the Lord. You feel primary love for God, and then you experience love of God. Shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, anartha nivritti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema. The 9 landmarks as you advance in spiritual life. Okay? And then this chapter concludes, tadvidhi pranipatena. If you want to understand spiritual knowledge, Pariprashnena seveya. First, take shelter of an acharya. Pranipat means to take shelter. Today, in the college you go, there is no shelter. We just pay fees. That's there was Vedic culture. Education was free. Paripratena, you take shelter of the acharya. Pariprashnena, ask all your questions, and in return, offer some service. Ubadathini jnanam, the Guru will give you all knowledge to you because he has seen the truth. Jnanina tattva darshina, he is able to see the truth. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Too many things today. And the last time, sorry, I had to just rush it up.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
This chapter is on
Vrindavan.
Huh?
Where is this Vrindavan?
Huh?
Vrindavan.
Mathura, no? Near, as a part of Mathura district.
That one only. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. The class was so wonderful and so easy to understand. Very slow and steadily the pace was. Very blessed to be a part in your session and love to hear you more, Prabhuji.
Hare, you are a great teacher. Great teacher is in Vrindavan now. Your teacher. She is enjoying time in Vrindavan. She is staying at coming with all.
But she always speaks about you, so you should be her guru.
No, that's okay. No. The Guru is our Guru, the Acharya here. You can say. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare.
No
Hare
question.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Actually, there were many
Prabhuji,
more.
there is Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is a small question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as you said, no, there are 4 distinct lines of disciplic succession, and but in spite of that,
Vishnu Puran says that, huh?
That is right, sir. That is right, Prabhuji. But still, Prabhuji, what we find, no, particularly in Hindu Dharma, so many God-man type persons are emerging. Why our people are getting attracted towards them in spite of the fact that they are well?
See, we have so many. See, it's no sincere person can be cheated. Okay? Nothing lamentable happens in Kingdom of God. Now, suppose you want to buy gold, you should have some knowledge what is gold, Hana? Some common sense. You want to buy you know this fact in India. First property anybody buys, he makes a mistake. If you have seen it, I also made a mistake. I went to buy some property for the temple and I have around 1 crore with me and I made a mistake and the documents are not correct. So we all make, so we should have some knowledge. After that, Krishna's grace, somehow I disposed it on. Some knowledge we should have how to see the land documents, isn't it? Some common sense. What is the clean title? So similarly, you want to understand God, something you should know what God is. And some common sense knowledge is needed. So I think what is needed is that you all join with us and understand Bhagavad Gita together, practice also whatever Krishna is teaching, benefit from it, and become fully healthy, spiritually strong, convinced, realized, and join us in spreading this message to every person on earth, isn't it? Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given an interesting prediction. He said, Prithviche Yotvache Nogaradi Gram. Every town and village on earth, they will study Gita. That's a prediction. And he ordered his disciple to accomplish it. So we are privileged to be in that parampara. Today, our roots are in every part of the world. Hana? But still not every man and woman is studying Gita, but will achieve it. We all combine together. Won't that be great? If all of us do together that achievement, won't it be great? Every man on earth has Gita in his... Won't that be great if all of us can together achieve that? Hannah, don't you think? With your celebration, every man on earth has Gita and is studying it, appreciating it, and following it. Nothing can stop. Nothing can stop. There is no other philosophy, no religion. Nothing can stop. So detailed, isn't it? If we can understand this book, you're all together. Okay, what is the dharma of the soul? iPhone Nanda Sarakumar. Okay. Now see, Vikramjit, okay. Socrates was the only person in the Western line who understood we are not the body, we are soul. But he didn't have any knowledge about nature of the soul and relation of soul to the God. He only showed one knowledge that we are not the body, we are soul. And for that, he was given Hamlet poison and killed. You know that, no?
Sir, you are very right, sir. You are very right. If he would have read Gita, he would have propagated this philosophy in Europe also, sir.
Vikramji, aap karo na. Arre baba.
Sir, I am a very small peanut, sir. Sir, I am a doctor by profession, sir. I am a surgeon.
Yes. So you are very respected. The I tell you, amount of respect, Vikramji, you enjoy in society, I don't enjoy. Let us be honest and truthful.
Sir, we are just nothing in front of you, sir.
No, but you know what you can do, one doctor does it. He has one Gita in his table. That's it. Don't say anything. Just presence of Gita on your table. Many people will think, yeah, I should read Gita.
Thank you. I will follow it, sir. I will follow it, sir.
Just keep it. You have one more doctor is there. He keeps not one, he keeps 5. So when a friend comes, something, you say, can I read it? Take, go. Gives it also. But they should ask. If we just give, without people asking, then they may just throw it away. Correct? Just keep it. And sir, can I also read?
This theory of question and answers, which was started in Gita millions of years ago, that has been propagated again by the Greek philosophers, sir. They also have this... To
some extent, what you're saying?
To a very limited extent, sir. Very limited extent. So because in that time, the rules were so strict that anybody who used to speak against the government, they were given punishments. But we were lucky in our Vedic system. You may have different thought process, but everybody is appreciated. Even in Gita, there is a mention of Kapil Muni, who is mentioning about the Sankhya Darshan, and he is speaking about Dvaitvad, which is against the principles.
No. Wait. The Kapila, that will be another topic we'll take up. Kapila Gita refers is not Advaita Kapila, Nirishwara. Gita refers to about Ishwara Kapila. There is Kapila of Devahuti. That Kapila is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, not Nirishwara Kapila. Okay, so we will continue discussion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us, sir. Thank you for enlightening us.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Your point is correct. In India, philosophical discussion was there for thousands of years, and people with respect used to discuss philosophy. And that is why philosophy developed here. You see, today all scientific discoveries happen in America more because they allow free thinking. classroom, you tell, sir, why we cannot put carbon and nitrogen? Get out of my classroom. What they've discovered. You do that, isn't it? You're not allowing them to think. You think we can get out. But therefore, America making this, they allow free thinking. So in India, because philosophy was discussed for thousands of years, therefore you see that such wonderful philosophies exist and everything coexists and nobody is killed for it. Okay, you can have your view, but nobody is killed because it differs in the view from it.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Shankaracharya
Darshan is one of the best, sir.
Yeah. Shankaracharya traveled all around India and he preached. No, and he changed the whole India without killing one person, just by speaking. So, yeah, so much knowledge, so much knowledge. Madhvacharya traveled. The land people used to sit and listen. And they were developing in spiritual, and that we inheriting all that knowledge, but that is true. Today, nobody knows. Can anybody knows what are the Siddhanta of Shankaracharya? Nobody knows. What is even life, they don't know where he was born, what he taught. People, it has been, stigmatized as mythology, and that's the unfortunate part.
It is not mythology, sir. It is history.
History. See, Purana. Purana means old. Purana doesn't. Purana means old. Ye kapada Purana. It doesn't mean it is waste.
Shankaracharya.
Yes.
When Shankaracharya said that the world is mithya, it is away from the general perception, but still he was accepted.
Yes. Yes. Great. Okay. So thank you,
sir. Thank you.
Everybody, for nice. And Nandita, Sharkumar, what is the dharma of the soul? To serve the Lord. Okay. We cannot take away that. And Vikramji, nice to meet you. Bhagavad Gita relevant for all the time. Now, let me go to my another class. Thank you so much. And very soon your teacher will be back with the bliss of visiting Vrindavan. Take care. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.